Hello everybody and welcome to a beautiful Tuesday morning. So today's jobs, one really important job is to clean the glass house. So as the clocks have gone back, the light levels are really starting to decrease now, and it's really important to give your plants, if you're growing plants in glass houses, the maximum amount of light as you possibly can. So I try and clean my glass house twice a year. It's not always that practical. Luckily I have got my partner with me today who is helping me move the benches, because these benches are pretty heavy and robust. In the potting shed, the other glass house, we've got aluminium ones and they're really light and easy. So if you are looking at getting benches, make sure you get nice and light ones so you can maneuver them easily with two people, whereas these are quite hard work. So we've completed this side and already the light difference in here is amazing. So I'm just going to turn my camera around so you guys can see the state of the glass in here. So this is what the plants are having to work with. You can see it's sort of like a horrible grainy. It's through like the year of watering, so you've got scale build up, a load of algae. I've got a hazel hedge at the back here which casts quite a bit of shade, so we get a bit of moss growing. It's not obviously the best place for this glass house, but it's unfortunately the only place that we had in the veg garden to put it. So there you go, that's lovely and dirty, isn't it? And I'll do a shot in a minute of once it's cleaned, but it's amazing. This is the sunny side and the other side is the less sunny side, but even with the non-sunny side clean, it's amazing the light already in here. And that will work really well with all of these microgreens that will now start to struggle as the light diminishes. Glasshouse is all finished, and look at that sparkle. So if we take a look inside, oh, nice and clean. It's just so remarkable how much lighter it is. So the back bit here has got to be done. I'm going to save that for a rainy day, because obviously I just needed a hand pulling out the two side benches. I just leave the back bench in situ and just clean around the back. So I've just got to remove all of that stuff, clean the back of that and the apex up there. But apart from that, I mean, look at that now. Whew. And the light in here is just absolutely incredible. So yeah, this is great. At least my microgreens get a bit of sunshine. Obviously the hazel hedge at the back is going to be cut on Thursday, so that will, because as you can see the sun is just behind it there, so when that comes down, this back bench will then get a lot more light, because I've noticed things on this side have started to struggle in comparison to over this side. And yeah, soon I'll be sowing my Christmas microgreens for everybody to have their little Christmas veg boxes. And like I said, as the light levels reduce, it makes it harder for the microgreens to grow, so the more light that we can have, the better. But that is a job well done, and I'm very happy. I just want to show you one more thing. This lemon tree has done absolutely amazing this year. So absolutely huge size fruits. I'm hoping this one's going to be ready for Christmas. Nice gin and tonic, that would be lovely. Look at the size of him as well at the back there. Whew. So this has produced 19 fruits. So I have him in the glass house over the winter months. I reduced the watering down, and literally only almost when the leaves start to curl in through lack of water do I water it. So watering over the winter months is really sparse. And then I also, when the frosts are over, stick him outside and he actually sits there. But obviously because the sun's a lot higher up in the sky. It loves that spot and it is fruited like mad. So I'm really happy with that. I mean, 19 lemons on a tree, and there's so much more blossom. This is the one thing I love about lemon trees as well. The blossom smells beautiful, and it flowers all year round, fruits all year round. So, I mean, I could be lucky and get them to set. Could you imagine if that one has a big lemon on it? I mean, the branch is going to come down to here. It's going to be wonderful. So impressed with today's work so far, and let's crack on with some more jobs. So these are crown princes, and we're taking them to the kitchens. So this is going to be for the shoot soup. The next job on the list is to plant all of the asparagus. So this is seed that I sowed at the beginning of the year, and I'm really pleased with the results. It's done really, really well. It's still going to take quite a while to reach maturity where you can actually pick it. So what you want to do is get the roots to develop really, really well before you start hitting the plants hard or harvesting them hard. There was or is existing asparagus in this bed. I just wanted to fill in, there was just a few gaps that need to be filled in, and obviously I don't want to buy the big spidery roots because you've got to dig quite deep in big trenches, so I thought if I just seed it. And also as well, I got a female variety. A lot of the time on the market you can only really obtain male varieties of asparagus, but if you can get hold of females, which are more likely to be in seed, then they're just as good. The males are thicker asparagus and the females are thinner, but although you think you get more because you get thicker stems off of the male asparagus, actually you get a higher weight quantity when you get the female varieties, but you get the thinner, slender asparagus stems instead of the thick ones. So Brian's planting while I'm digging holes, and we've got some other friends to help us. Asparagus is all planted, really, really happy, so that's another job done. What I've really enjoyed as well with having Brian around for the day is that when you've got two people on a job, it gets done so much quicker than when it's one of you. You can just smash stuff out, so really, really pleased with that. It's nice to see all the gaps filled in. Chickens are happy because they've got a worm meal. Roll on next April for asparagus. So just to add into that as well, asparagus is wonderful because it's one of the earliest crops that you'll get in the garden, and it's such a welcome sight at the beginning of the year and such a wonderful crop. I absolutely love asparagus. And also as well, if you are thinking about growing asparagus but you're quite unsure about it, it does say it does struggle in heavy clay soil, but as long as you put, which ironically enough we were digging up just then, is a lot of sand. So I put down a lot of sand, so I do a really deep trench, I put a load of sand, and I also mound it, so you do a little mound in the middle all along like a ridge. Plant your asparagus with your spider legs going down into the ditch, and it should work out perfectly fine. Make sure your bed is weeded, so it has to be weed free, because as soon as those weeds start growing, especially perennial weeds, you can't dig the soil. You know, you can disturb the top couple of inches, but apart from that you can't really touch the spidery roots, so you've got to be really careful with that. But apart from that, it's a fantastic crop, and I absolutely love growing it. These two lovely, large, beautiful pots I have as my annual display, so they're the only pots in the veg garden that I actually display up, and I try and change it up. Last year we had cannas in there, they looked absolutely stunning. This year I had the amaranthus. They didn't produce as good the cascadingness, beautiful waterfall effect that I wanted to, but there's always hope for next year, which I think I will be doing again because it is a particularly large plant. But these violas just look absolutely lovely, so Brian and I planted these up and they're looking pretty good. Should be a nice pop of colour throughout the winter months. The David Austin roses got delivered today, so I'm really pleased with these. They're always lovely, healthy looking plants from David Austin, always reliable, and yeah, we've got quite a few in there. I will put the varieties up, and they're specific for cut flowers. This cage area originally was fruit and veg, but I decided I wanted to bring some of the cut flowers up into the veg garden. So there's another area that I garden on the other side of the house, which is our cut flower, or has the majority of our cut flowers in it. But I just wanted a bit more space and a bit more formality, because the cut flower garden's a bit of an odd shape and quite hard to work in. So this back bed here is going to be the 3 staple flowers that we have and grow throughout the year, which will be the peonies, roses, and then the dahlias at the back. And now that I've had the rose, or part of my rose delivered, I need to obviously crack on and get that done. So with the roses, I'm underplanting with narcissus, the daffodils. So we've just got, you're maximising your space. It just makes a lot of sense to do that. So I'm trying to get as much as I can packed in to the smallest space that I've got. And then this bed next year will just be kept to more of the annuals. And then up down at the cut flower garden, I'm trying to keep that as just a perennial bed.